Hi everyone, welcome to this video tutorial about the context of text development.
I'm Abigail and this is Leah. To start off, the context of text development fall under two types. These are hypertext and intertextuality. These are two contexts that further shape your understanding of a text.
Intertextuality has three types, which are appropriation, allusion, and parody. Lastly, we have hypertext. These are what we'll be covering for this session, so don't worry. We have plenty of examples prepared for your understanding.
Intertextuality is just a text within a text. Imagine it as a story which has another story hidden within it and just needs further understanding. So, it's all about the meaning, right?
The more you know about it, the more you can see that it's even found all around you. Readers and writers are always influenced by previous texts, so that's how intertextuality came to be.
Today, there are so many forms of media that are adapted from past texts. That's why we can see that entertainment industry nowadays seems to be booming with reboots or adaptations.
These are all appropriation. Appropriation is the adaptation or reuse of a certain work to another style of text. It makes an existing text into a new different form or context. However, everything about the storyline will still seem to be more or less the same.
And the second type is allusion, which is a reference to another text. It's more like an inspiration, like you can't understand the text without knowing where it was inspired from. But the reader should make an effort in making the connection.
Allusion has four types: literary, biblical, cultural, and historical. We have here examples from each type of the three most common media forms.
So for literary allusion, we make a reference to a literary text, usually in the form of a novel in its entirety. But it can also be a character or the author itself. You can also allude to a poem, sonnet, even a book series based on its concept.
Biblical allusion is where you allude to the stories or characters from the Bible, so it clearly has religious elements. From these references, although they don't really faithfully follow the source material due to some darker or comedic views, we still know that the concepts are based from the Bible.
Historical allusion is where you refer to events, people, or things that have happened in history. These tend to be significant periodic events since such happenings would still be remembered over time.
Lastly, cultural allusion is where you refer to something that's happening at the current time. It could be pop culture, music, anything that's relevant at the time where you allude to that. In these examples, they make use of iconic references, those that have made a great impact as entertainment.
The last type of intertextuality is parody. I think you're mostly familiar what a parody is. It's a funny imitation of a serious text. Mostly, parodies make heavy scenes into a comedic one. That's why its usual main goal is to entertain the audience through hilarious antics.
Next is hypertext, which is very simple. It's a non-consecutive text that gives the reader the flexibility to focus on more important information.
Hypertext can be seen in both digital typology and also printed form. From a single word of text, it just simply leads you to other related texts.
For example, we have here a BuzzFeed article about the latest thrilling episode of Game of Thrones. Let's say we pick 4 random words or phrases in the article here. Then from those, a reader will be led into other similar articles, which in this case are also existing BuzzFeed articles today. We have here HBO, Battle of Winterfell, Arya Stark, and Cersei, for example.
HBO is hypertexted with another article entitled "Here's Everything Coming to HBO this April." The Battle of Winterfell is also hypertexted with the title "Game of Thrones." Fans are mad that the Battle of Winterfell episode was too dark. Literally dark.
Next, Arya Stark is hypertexted with this article. Drake just thanked Arya Stark in his BBMA's acceptance speech, and I'm living. Lastly, we have Cersei, which is hypertexted with 20 signs that you might be Cersei Lannister.
So that's everything. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you guys understood our tutorial.
Feel free to comment any questions and we'll happily give our help. Thank you!